Hi, and welcome to this episode of The Mitchell File. I'm your host, Roosevelt Mitchell III. First, I have to say happy birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I thank you for so much that you have done for not just the African-American race, but all races. But unfortunately, in 2017, some states are still having an issue about observing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. The city of Biloxi has gotten serious flack when it announced on its Twitter account that city offices will be closed on Monday in observance of Great Americans Day, not Martin Luther King Jr. birthday. The tweet stated 9 emergency municipal offices in Biloxi will be closed on Monday in observance of Great Americans Day. According to the Biloxi Sun-Herald, Great Americans Day recognizes a joint celebration of Dr. King's birthday and Confederate General Robert E. Lee's birthday. But if you happen to live in Arkansas, Alabama, or Mississippi, then it's MLK Day and Robert E. Lee Day. This might come as a surprise to people since Dr. King was famous for the civil rights movement and Lee was a Civil War general for the Confederacy, a group of states that succeeded from the United States to form a government in which Article 4 of its Constitution stated the institution of Negro slavery as it is now exists in the Confederate States shall be recognized and protected. So to understand why these men are honored on the same day in 3 states, we need to look back at the history of MLK Day. Almost immediately after King's assassination on April 4, 1968, activists and legislators began pushing for a holiday to commemorate his birthday, January 15th, a struggle that would ironically continue for 15 years. Congress finally passed a bill in 1983, and the first federal MLK Day was observed on the 3rd Monday of January 1986. Most states adopted the holiday within a few years, but others held out. Arizona did not recognize the day until 1992, after losing millions of dollars when the NFL boycotted the state in protest. According to the King Center, the last state to adopt the holiday was New Hampshire in 1999. Although all states eventually recognized the day, some did so in an ironic way. In southern states, the long resisted integration, King was seen as an enemy of things that they believed in, so it was difficult for them to then change to see him as someone who should be celebrated. So, rather than adopting a separate MLK Day, Arkansas, Alabama, and Mississippi packaged it with the holiday they already celebrated, the anniversary of Robert E. Lee's birthday on January 19th. Virginia did this too because it already had a holiday that jointly commemorated Lee and Confederate General Stonewall Jackson. Virginia celebrated a weird hybrid called Lee-Jackson-King Day until the year 2000. And until that year, MLK Day was an optional paid holiday in South Carolina, where state employees had to choose between MLK Day or 3 other Confederate holidays. Today, those who oppose separating the days in states where they are jointly celebrated use the language of the civil rights movement to defend themselves. Last year, in an attempt to separate MLK and Lee Day in Arkansas, opponents argued that separate is not equal. Wow, this is such an interesting piece of history, and I would love to know what you think about MLK Day being intertwined with Confederate leaders. But I would love to know what you think about it, so please leave a comment in the section below.